Yo, we are back. Another edition of the Goodfellas. Woo! It's your boy Dougie. A Will 5. March Madness is in full effect.
Full effect.
Full effect. How y'all feel about the tournament so far?
Beautiful.
I bet.
Beautiful.
How you feel?
Snooze fest.
Snooze fest.
Yeah. Up until
A snooze fest?
the Duke UCF game.
Oh, we had some good games.
Not too many good games.
The
Not too many good
the
games.
New Mexico. What was that? Auburn.
The Auburn game, yeah, that was a really good game. That was really good. Been two good games that I've seen.
Liberty, when Liberty beat
Liberty.
they beat who they beat the 5 seed. Who was they 5 seed they beat? That was a good game.
Speaking of brackets, how is our brackets looking?
Mine looks pretty good.
I mean, you got in the Sweet 16, right?
I got 15 out of 16.
15. I got 12. 5.
Cause good 8. Brackets and flames right now.
Oh man.
You know what flames look like?
Hey,
Woo.
I told y'all that East and Midwest was gonna be full of red. I mean, East and West was gonna be full of red.
I will say, I did underestimate a couple of those teams in the West. I've actually been impressed with the 1 and 2 seeds in the West. They've actually probably been the most impressive teams.
The 1 and the 2 seed in the West.
Yeah, you talk about Gonzaga, you talk about Michigan. They've probably been the
Michigan
most
looking good.
impressive teams, to be honest with you. So they shut me up real quick. So, I mean, I still got both of them. I had both of them in the Sweet 16, but I don't have them going any farther. But it don't look like it's going to stop.
Yeah.
So,
Liberty beat Mississippi State.
Yeah, that was a good game.
80-76.
That was a good game.
good to beat those bums.
But I mean, game. I think we could agree the game of the tournament so far was Sunday.
It was.
Duke UCF.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you missed it,
Sorry for you.
man.
That was good basketball.
Hey,
I watched it from the tip to the end.
77-76.
Man, listen.
Zion, dude, he made every play you could make with the game on the line.
Except for make the free throw. I mean,
That,
it actually
yeah.
helped him out, but
It helped him, but yeah, he was short on the free throw, but everything else,
he was
that boy was money. That boy was money.
He shot under 60%.
He got the 50.
No, I mean, I said he shot under 60.
What was he? 13 for 26, I believe.
I'll get that for you right now.
Underdog.
12 for 24.
12
3
for
of
24.
7
Close.
from the 3.
Yeah, it was 3 7 3.
11 boards, 4 assists.
I didn't like that last 3 he took. I did.
Which one?
The one he took to try to tie the game.
Oh.
And
Left
they
wing.
got they
Left
got the
wing.
rebound back. And then he finally was like, look, I'm going to the hole.
Yeah.
I'm going with my bread is butter. Y'all gonna stop me. Something gonna happen. And something happened. And it was beautiful.
So on the bucket though, to get that to foul out Taco, like a lot of people saying that was a charge
Not at all.
first.
Not a dude flop.
It was a charge, but you don't foul out the one of the best players in the country with 14 seconds left in the game. You just don't make that call. You don't want to be that ref. Like, you don't want to be that ref. And I 100% understand it.
Was it a foul on Taco though?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had
Taco
two
had
fouls.
no.
Two fouls. He had the one where Zion was on the right baseline. Should have been a foul.
Oh
too.
yeah. Taco should have been gone.
Yeah. Nah, it was a foul. Absolutely.
What's the name going to the league though?
Who?
Johnny Dawkins' son.
Got game.
I listen.
Hey.
If he wasn't in on the draft boards, he on that now.
Yeah.
I was very surprised they didn't go to him at the end of the
They
game.
did.
No, they went to Taylor at the end of the game.
No, but I'm saying before that, they had the opportunity when he took that bad shot and they was looking for a foul. When he came off the Taco screen and as soon as he got it,
Yeah.
Which was a foul.
it was a foul. But they wasn't. Nobody's calling that.
They should have called it. It was a foul. But no, they should have went with him. I thought they would go with him with the game on the line, but I understand why they went with Taylor because he's a senior. He's been there before. He's probably what do they call him? Like big shot, like
Yeah.
some at the end of the game. So I mean, I get it. You know, you go to your guy who's been there time and time again and kind of looked out for you. But actually, I think Dawkins was the best player on the floor.
Oh, he was.
I mean, even though Zion had a great game,
Yeah,
Zion
he
had a
was.
great game, but I feel like Dawkins made a lot of big shots. He was a run stopper. and he got some of their runs going too. So to me, that was like why he was the best player on the floor.
Okay.
I think Zion had Dawkins 32. We knew he had 32. Zion 32 was like you had to look back and say damn, he had 32.
No, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Dawkins had more of an effect on the game than Zion did. I was actually surprised that R.J. Barrett played within himself.
It's more tournament.
But I was surprised to see that he played within himself.
More of the scheme. I think the scheme
the
took
zone
them away. Yeah, it was like a junk zone, and it
daring them to shoot.
Yeah,
like
Trey Jones got to shoot. Listen, Trey Jones, when you're that wide open, brother, just shoot confident. Be confident in your jump shot.
I think it's more of a when you're a point guard, most of the time you're taught to get the offense started. So you don't want to just come up the floor and just shooting threes, without passes.
They had Taco on him, and Taco didn't come past the restricted area line.
He made one.
No, but I'm just saying you got to shoot that with confidence.
I think he wanted to, but he just didn't want to he don't want to have no pass and done possessions. And I get it from a point guard standpoint, but from a basketball standpoint, I mean, you want to see him
shoot the rock,
shoot that shot. But I get it. I get it.
Cam Reddish, if he could stay out of foul trouble.
Well, he was guarding Dawkins. That's the reason he's in foul trouble.
I'm just saying,
Dawkins was doing it all.
He had a okay game.
He had a shot of the game.
Oh yeah, that three.
He had a shot of the game.
Oh that three was on.
I think if they complete that oop.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! How do you not complete that?
But hold on, which shouldn't have been an oop? It should have been a bounce pass on the wing. He should have took one dribble, went up, and he was gonna dunk it or lay it up, whatever. He should have got rid of the ball early instead of trying for the flashy play at the end of the game, and it cost them. It really did. They would have been up 6 with 1:40 left, I believe. And it wasn't looking too good for them, but it was a 5-point swing. They came back down court, did a little handoff, he a big three, and that changed the whole complexion of the game.
Had their chance. Speaking of best players in the tournament, let's go to Murray State. Ja.
That boy legit.
Hey.
Legit.
Triple-double against Fives Marquette over here. And then he comes back, 28, 5, and 4. They got blew out.
By
Florida State.
They didn't have enough guys.
That wasn't
have enough guys.
But, dude, he's number 2 on my draft board.
The kid is legit.
All right, so look, I'm going to ask y'all this question, all right? Because I asked this question to a couple of my coworkers. We had to stop. Zion is clearly, the number 1 overall pick, right? But if you're a team, say, if Phoenix gets the number 1 pick, would you be mad if they took Ja over Zion?
Who do they have?
Yes.
They need a point guard.
Yes.
So again, I'm not saying I know you can pair Aiden and Zion together with Book and Steele, but think about it. Phoenix needs a point guard.
Yeah, but it's easier to find a good point guard than it is to find a dynamic wing player. Very easy.
You might not want to miss out on Zion.
I know, I get that, but I'm just saying, do you have if you are a front office GM guy, right, and let's say you're one of the teams that get the first overall pick, and you get to looking at your roster completely, and of course, like I said, Phoenix has multiple holes in their roster. Okay. Chicago probably so. Let's say a team like the Bulls, right? The Bulls got Markman, they got Wendell Carter. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they got Lopez still on their team, and we'll just stop right there, right? So Lopez is probably going out this year. But you got Markman and you got Wendell Carter Jr.
And Porter.
And, I forgot about Otto Porter. So that's your front court.
Right.
Do you yes, you're going to take Zion, but do you have that conversation where it's man, we might need to go get Ja? Because, outside of Dunn, who's their point guard?
Look, first and foremost, I don't want Zion Williamson going anywhere near the Bulls. Okay, ruin that man's career before it even starts. Okay, the Bulls don't know what they're doing, man. Their management sucks, man.
That has nothing to do with a 19-year-old rookie though.
I don't want to. I want to see him go anywhere but Chicago, man.
You want to see him go to Cleveland?
Why not? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the management there any better?
No.
What? Then
Cleveland.
When the last time the Bulls won?
Cleveland only won because LeBron
Hey,
decided to go back.
When the last time they won?
98.
Will you win?
18.
Their management makes bad decisions again and
But
again.
about championships, they're also a playoff team for like 7 straight years.
They're actually a 2 years removed from the playoffs. When they had Rondo, Wade, Butler, they was in the playoffs. They was an 8th seed.
That was the year they didn't know if they wanted to.
I get what you're saying. They didn't know if they wanted to tank or go for it all.
Dude, I don't want to see.
I get what you're saying,
They
but
just missed the playoffs the year before that and made the playoffs the year before that.
What that got to do with me not liking their management?
they're mad.
I would prefer. My preference. I don't want to see Zion play for the Bulls. Not under Garpax. No.
Okay. Well,
No.
if Zion comes to Chicago, I will go to a couple of games.
I mean,
I'm not a Bulls fan.
Go to games. You'll go to games regardless.
I think that's a misconception.
I mean,
that their management is like bad, like player management. No, they
make dumb decisions.
They make bad player moves, but they've drafted really well.
Yes, they have.
They've drafted really well. I mean,
I still don't want to go in there.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to my question.
But yeah,
do you have that conversation? Like when you start, fine. You don't even think about it.
no.
Depending on the fit though, like so if Atlanta got the number 1 pick,
You definitely gotta take Zion.
yeah, like you gotta
take Zion.
Trae Young. I mean, of course they're gonna.
That's what I'm saying. It depends like on with
That's
certain
what I'm saying.
teams.
Yeah, like with the
Like
Bulls,
with
you
Phoenix.
already have you pretty much have your front court. You add Zion, who do you move to the bench?
Porter. They shouldn't have got him in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Then he just moved Porter to the bench. Like, I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty easy, to be honest with you. Like, every team in the NBA almost has a really good point guard. Can we agree to that? I'd say about 80% of the league has a clear starting point guard in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many. Maybe the Knicks.
The Bulls don't have a clear.
I think Dunn is good. I just think they put the cuffs on Dunn for some reason because Dunn was outstanding last year.
Okay.
Last year he was outstanding. This year it seems like they kind of put the cuffs on him a little bit. They kind of didn't really give him the free ranks. And then Levine kind of takes away from some of his ball handling responsibilities and playmaking responsibilities because Levine is a dribbler and he's a playmaker himself. I wouldn't give up on Dunn quite.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give up on Dunn yet, but I wouldn't be mad at them if they did. I wouldn't be mad if they did.
Okay, so let me flip it this way. You're the number 2 pick. So let's say Atlanta is the number 2 pick. Do they draft Ja?
Depends on who else is out there too.
I mean, think about it. You're gonna have RJ. You're gonna have Bobo. You're gonna have Cam Reddish.
Yeah, I think you gotta look at Bowl if you're Atlanta.
Because you can't pair him.
You got Dedmon, Alex Lynn.
Yeah.
I think you just go big right there.
I'm just trying to look at
The mock draft.
The draft.
Pull it up then.
Yeah, a lot of these teams is off. With Phoenix, like if you Phoenix.
So if you're Atlanta, you're saying you would not draft Ja if you got the number 2 pick.
That is correct.
Wow.
How him and Trae Young, I don't know if that's going.
I mean, but it could be dynamic though, right? It could be dynamic. You could have a backcourt that.
There's 2 guys that need the ball.
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't know if Ja really needs the ball in his hand like that, right? Like I think he's the type of player that can score, but like the interviews that I always watch of him, he always talks about how he gets more joy getting his teammates involved. So I don't think he's one of those selfish players where he feels like I gotta have the ball in my hand in order to like score or make an impact. Like I feel like his presence or just him playing the game, he feels like he can make an impact and get everybody else involved.
But is he better?
He might be better with the ball in his
That's
hand, yeah, but I don't think he necessarily needs it in his hand to be effective. If that makes sense.
Man, they got Kobe White going top 5 in the draft.
Kobe stopped rising. I read an article about him today. Huh?
North Carolina Kobe.
Yeah. I read an article about him today.
And
They said it stopped rising.
We getting cold in.
They got Little going number 10. They got Cam Reddish going 8 in this mock draft I'm looking at. DeAndre Hunter out of Virginia going 6. The guy from Gonzaga going 4 to the Bulls. RJ Barrett going 3 to Cleveland. Phoenix getting Ja, and the Knicks getting Zion. I mean, how many of these teams really need a point guard though? I mean, hey, people forget Atlanta's gonna have 2 top 10 picks too. They have Dallas's pick too.
Okay.
So they're gonna have 2 cracks at it. So they might have 2 and 5. They might have 3 and 6. So I mean,
yeah, but I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think he would be there. Like, to me, it's hard to imagine he would be there after 2. Unless you can say, right, like if you're Atlanta, and like to your point, if you say Atlanta gets 2 and 5, if you say, okay, I'm Atlanta, I'll get RJ. Like, depending on who drafts 3rd and 4th, right? Like, maybe I get RJ, and maybe maybe Phoenix says we don't need him, right? Or what if they entice Phoenix to move back?
If I was the host, I'd package my deals and try to get the win.
First overall?
Yeah, I would package it. Yeah, I mean, I would package it. I mean, they need a wing guy. I mean, they need a wing guy. Package both top 5, top 6, top 7 picks
For the first overall?
and move us to the number 1 overall pick and go get Zion.
I like it,
And
but
then you got a good core.
Yeah, I like it, but if I got the number 1 overall pick,
You're not giving it up.
absolutely not. Man, this is a generational player. Absolutely not.
Depends on who gets it too, though.
Listen, I don't care.
You know Cleveland gonna get it though, right? I think we all know Cleveland's gonna get the number 1 pick.
Definitely
right?
think you.
Are we?
I've always thought.
Are we all in assumption that Cleveland's gonna get the number 1 pick? I think we are.
Hey, I think New York gonna get
The
it.
city of bad luck is starting to have some luck, and it's gonna fall into their hands.
Cleveland is gonna get it.
I think so. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I don't think New York's gonna get it.
What better story to write? Right after LeBron.
Suns just had it last year, right?
Yep.
Suns had it last year. They ain't getting it 2 years in a row. When the last time a team had it 2 years in a row?
Cleveland.
Cleveland with who?
Kyrie and
Anthony Bennett.
Oh God.
They actually got it 3 out of 4 years.
Anthony.
Because they got it with.
Kyrie, they got it with Anthony Bennett, and they got it with Wiggins.
Oh yeah, they did. And they traded. And then they packaged the Wiggins deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got it 3 out of 4 years.
So okay, I can see it happening now. Then
Yep. I think it's gonna happen again.
I still think Cleveland gonna get it
It's
though.
gonna happen again.
I still think-
all after LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It always happens after LeBron. Then they got lucky. Then they got lucky and got LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
and then they sent the pick away. And,
Yeah.
and then obviously they stopped getting picks.
Yeah. It's gonna happen, man. I think he's definitely going to. He's going to the Cavs.
Dang.
Sucks. Yeah. Now that you gonna suck.
That's gonna be
That team is awful.
Yeah, they need to.
They need to just. I don't know what they need to do.
They've actually been playing decent ball though. It's crazy
I don't
that
care
saying.
what type of ball they play.
They've been
That
playing
team-
decent ball, but
that
they
team is
need a.
awful.
I don't like Sexton though.
He's trash.
I don't like Sexton at all.
He is trash. He don't even pass the ball.
Yeah,
He
I
didn't
like
pass it at Alabama.
How you point guard don't pass?
He didn't pass it at Alabama.
I've watched probably about 10 or 12 Cavs games this year. I haven't seen him get 1 assist.
Oh, he running the
Lord
gun.
bless your ministry.
He running the gun.
You watch how many Cavs games?
10 or 12. That's a lot. I play fantasy though.
That's
Yeah,
something.
for fantasy purposes.
Sometimes you just need to know.
Yeah, you gotta see who playing the minutes,
You
bro.
need to know.
You gotta see who playing the minutes, bro.
Get your low by. Man, let's move on. There was some controversy about Coach Izzo, Michigan State, chewing out. Is that his freshman?
Freshman.
Chewing him out. I'm talking about he had his hand balled up. He looked like he was finna steal off my man.
He should have.
He looked like he finna steal off my man.
He should have. You saw what he was mad at him about. He should
A
have.
lot of people were saying, like, he's taking it too far. He shouldn't be able to, talk to the players in that way. He had to be restrained in the huddle.
Soft.
Just a lot. What how y'all feel about it? He was finna file for me.
I'll let you go first.
Y'all already know what I feel about it. I feel like we can't be getting that soft as a generation. We just can't be, man. We can't be. Like, I think Nick Wright said it best. I saw Nick Wright, Chris Carter. It was just a clip. Izzo been doing this for 25 years.
Yeah.
He said, man, Izzo been coaching the same way for 25 years.
Yes.
And we are in a society now that doesn't like to be criticized in public or in private. And when it's in public, it looks even worse. So it's just like, oh, he's young, he's 19. Just talk to him in a different way, handle it a different way. And that ain't how it is. I dare y'all to put some of that camera footage on some of the college football coaches. I dare you.
Hey, you see Nick Saban on the sideline when the player make a mistake?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
Look.
Come on, man. It's only amplified because of the time of the year it is. It's March Madness. Everybody's watching the game. All right. But they're 2 seed. All right. Yeah. It was an intense game.
Yeah.
And
they was playing bad.
And I'm gonna flat out just say it. The tournament was boring up to the end. Like, there was really no exciting game. So we're searching for things to talk about until the Duke UCF game came on. True. We were literally searching for something to talk about and some type of controversy. But I mean, come on, man, that happens every single week in college sports. It should happen more in pro sports. It don't happen enough. But we let it slide because we're talking about millionaire, grown athletes and their pride. Egos. Nobody wants to clash with anybody because it's really easy for them to just say, I'm done with it, shut down, and there's nothing you can really do it with it because there's money tied to it. But that's why people love college basketball. I don't think college sports, period. Like, that's why there's people out there who rather watch college sports than to watch pro sports, because they hold their players accountable. Mm-hmm. Everybody holds their teammates accountable. Yes. You see a lot more team camaraderie, and it's just a lot more passion in the actual game. And the point that every game counts in college, like, really provides it just provides just that more intensity for the game. So I can go on all day and talk about it, but I mean, to me, it's just soft. I mean, we've come in a generation to where anybody can do anything, you can do wrong, and not have to suffer any consequences. So, I mean, that's my last take.
Soft. I mean, you pick. So as a college athlete, you decide what school you want to go to, majority of the time. They pick these schools for this reason, to get coached.
Yep.
Right? You pick Cal to get coached. You pick Coach K to get coached. You pick Izzo to get coached. You don't pick them so they can be your best friend and, oh, you made a mistake, it's okay. We'll make up for it. No. You want that coach to bring the best out of you so you can make it to the next level. Or you have the best opportunity to make it to the next level. Man, listen, I don't know. I've said it time after time after time again. These new age athletes, they too soft. They just want everybody to praise them. They want everybody to be their friend. They want everybody to love them. They just want to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, and make millions and not get better at their game. I don't know. I just think it's stupid, man, for real.
So, after that happened, did Michigan State go on a run?
Yes.
They did.
All right, number one, Izzo knows what he's doing, right? Number two, that probably wasn't the first time that's happened to that player this year with Izzo, whether it was in practice, locker room, or another game. Right.
He's a freshman. He's a freshman.
No, but like Izzo said, we at the time of the year now, you're no longer a freshman. Like you're no longer, like that freshman is out the window.
Hey.
You're getting quality minutes. You're no longer a freshman. If you were a freshman, you would be playing 5 to 10 minutes a game. You would not really be playing in the tournament unless it was a blowout. Like, dude, you're a vital piece to us winning. We can't have you making mental lapses on the court. Like, that's out. If you're going to make these lapses, you need to come sit by me. And that's probably what he said. He probably didn't say it in that calm of a manner, but that's probably the message that he gave him. Like, dude, if you're going to keep making these mistakes, just come sit by me. And if he says it with passion or fire or whatever, a couple curse words, if you grab him by his jersey, if he got his fist balled up, so what? Like, dude, every Michigan State fan would have been mad if Michigan State lost the game and Izzo said nothing. Think about it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I think as the tournament keeps going on, if Michigan State continues to win and continues to advance, this won't be a story.
No,
like, they're going to go back to it. You know what they're going to say?
This was the spark.
Teaching point. Teaching point. Oh, this is great. Like, just call it a moment.
I mean, but I'm going to go back to Nick Saban. We watch Bama play, you know, whether we like them or not. We watch him play, right? Player makes a mistake on the field with Bama. Saban throwing his head on the floor, telling him get over here, you know, cursing him out. And some of the announcers on CBS be like, this is a teachable moment for this kid. And Saban is teaching this kid. Even when Bama is up, if they up 30, 40, 50, 20, Saban is still intense. He's still paying attention to the game. And if you make a mistake, he's going to let you know right then and there. Yeah. And everybody praises Nick Saban for doing it. Why? Because they're winning championships. Like, Izzo winning Big Ten championships. He probably hasn't won a national championship in a while. But he's winning conference championships.
Got to the Final Four quite a bit, too.
And they won their conference championship this year. So, I mean, this is why you brought him here. Like, another coach, I'm going to stay in football, another coach, Brian Kelly. Like, he on NBC every Saturday. He curses his players out. Look, get red in the face. They get mad about it. But when Notre Dame is winning, don't nobody say nothing.
Can you imagine if they had cameras on Frank Martin?
Oh. What about when Frank Martin was at
Kansas State?
Oh.
Can you imagine?
Come on.
Can you imagine some of the things that some of the people would say? Like, they have no idea. Like that, and he hasn't been coaching. He hasn't been removed from Kansas State that long. Like, all that long. Like, it's
and he's probably in South Carolina.
Yeah, he's in South Carolina. And what did they just get? What was that? Just last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, just last year.
Just last year.
They was at what?
They get to the Elite Eight or Final Four?
Elite Eight.
They got to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, so, beat Duke. 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, right?
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years
they had
ago.
Thornwell.
Can you imagine the type of scrutiny he would get if cameras were on him, or we had the type of media coverage that we have now?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Hey, but look, he had an interview this year. Frank Martin had an interview this year where they was asking him about his schedule and like how some people felt his schedule was soft.
I ain't never been called soft.
Hey, yeah. He said, I ain't never did nothing soft in my life.
In my life. Hey, man, that's a real dude right there.
Hey, man, listen.
It's a real dude. But also, Chris Carter said something about Izzo. He was like, everybody can say all that stuff all they want. He was like, Izzo went in that kid's house.
Yeah.
Told his parents that he would make a promise to him that he would not let him down.
Yeah.
And that was a time where he was not going to let him down and not going to let him skate. But also he talked about the alumni and how highly they talk about Coach Izzo. Mm-hmm. You think he wasn't yelling at Draymond Green?
Mateen Cleave?
Yeah, you think he wasn't yelling at Mateen Cleave, Shannon Brown? Like, come on, man. You know he was going crazy on them too. But they love Izzo. And that's why Michigan State always has a big following everywhere they go. So, I mean,
it's a bunch of what we like to call fake news.
Ooh.
Dang, fake news.
It ain't fake news. It's just soft society, man.
Fake news. Because, I mean, coaches are always going to yell at players. It's like that's just part of the relationship.
Yeah.
They want everybody to be player coaches now.
Like, but and I'm going to go to this point Five made, right? Like, we don't see it enough in the NBA and the NFL. Like, we see the players get mad and I don't even want to say throw tantrums, but show more emotion and passion on the sideline and on the court side than we see the coaches, right? But he brought up a good point, and that's money, right? Like, I feel like coaches in the NBA, they easy to get rid of. They're disposable. Coaches in a college program are not disposable. They're not. A lot of times, those coaches make those programs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's hard. Like, just think about Kentucky. When Patino left, how many coaches did they go through before they got Cal? Like, and Kentucky wasn't feeling it.
At least four.
Like, think about when Dean Smith left North Carolina. How many coaches they go through before they got to Roy?
About 3 or 4.
Just imagine when Izzo leaves Michigan State. Like, the person that they're going to get to replace him. Just imagine when Coach K finally retires from Duke. The person they're going to get to replace him. Like,
would it bring Dawkins back?
I hope so.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still big shoes to fill, and it's not easy. Like, because these are programs that coaches have built.
Yeah.
Look at UCLA.
Louisville. Just look at Louisville.
Louisville. Look at not Kansas. Arizona with Lute Olson.
Yeah.
Look how long it took them to get back on the map. Bro, come on, man.
And we see what it took to get them back on the map.
Oh yeah.
A little change. A little change to make some changes.
But I'm just saying, like,
a little change to make some changes.
there's a difference. Like, you can't.
UCLA.
That's what I'm
UCLA
saying.
have struggled
For
years.
years,
Man. Years.
and they just got rid of Steve Alford for no reason.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. We can't even name like 5 NBA coaches if we looked at the last, like the bottom 5 teams in the league, we couldn't name that coach right now. And it don't matter, because guess what? Half of them gonna be fired at the end of the year.
The good coaches on top teams are gonna be for some of the good teams are gonna be fired at the end.
I mean, Dwayne Casey win Coach of the Year. What happened to him? Fired.
Pink slip. Life.
He deserved to get fired though.
Huh?
He deserved to get fired. I will say that he did deserve to get fired.
Come on, man. Lay off that man Casey.
I'm not saying he wasn't a good coach. I mean, but you know, like,
He wasn't getting them over the hump.
they look better with Nurse. I tell you that.
Yeah, he gonna get fired in Detroit.
They making the playoffs. They got 6 seed right now.
You know how the NBA is. Yeah, make it one year. Next year they might be an 8 seed. And guess what? Go home. Go home. Go home. Don't come back.
Anytime you make the playoffs, Reggie Jackson's your point guard. You better not get fired.
Deserve a raise. You deserve a raise. A pay increase.
I don't even know who they starting 2 guard is. I can't even say his name. Was it Bruce Brown?
Wayne Ellington.
Oh yeah, Wayne do start now.
What school he go to?
Yeah, Tar Heel.
Hey, we took care of business too.
Ooh, did we?
81-59. You thought I wasn't gonna go to Kobe White? Let's go.
Y'all Kobe White fan?
Come on, man. What did I tell you? He was gonna be my player to increase his stock.
Look, you see fire face over there.
I'm still not a Kobe White fan.
Hey,
I'll stick to
he
it.
increased his stock and he leave. We get Cole Anthony. I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah, 1,000% okay.
I'm okay with that. We getting Cole. Cole world. We gonna switch gears.
Carolina.
Hey, we gonna go to the NFL, man.
Yeah.
Gronk has retired.
Great.
Gronk Spike is no more.
Ooh, who gonna replace them shoes? We talking about shoes to fill.
Still bittersweet, y'all. Still bittersweet.
Smart move on his part, man.
No, it's not.
Dude.
Get out of here.
Retire by 30.
But
NFL.
But here's my thing, though. So I know I'm just gonna go straight into it. Like, dude, he had the easiest job in football.
Easiest job in football.
He had the easiest job in football. He didn't play like 4 or 5 games last year.
And you know what's crazy though? Drew Rosenhaus? That's how you say his name? He was about to cut a deal. He felt like he could cut a deal with the Patriots, but Gronk ain't had to show up till after training camp.
Dude,
Dude,
that's a bad retirement. That's
What a bad one. CTE is real, brother.
Yeah.
If you can, how many rings has he got before he's turned 30? How many?
3.
3. Come on, man. He's probably got endorsement money, bro. He can relax now.
Nah, he said he's been living off his endorsement.
He been living off.
He can relax.
He don't have no endorsement. He does have all his contract money though. $54 million.
Smart, man. The NFL nowadays, you're gonna see a lot of players doing that, man. You're gonna see a lot of players, unless like quarterbacks, usually the ones who play longest. But
I think it was more just about the injuries. They started. I didn't know he had so many surgeries.
Yeah,
like they
bro.
started to name all the surgeries he had. I think they're up to like 7 or 8 surgeries. So I don't think it was anything like CTE wise. I mean, I know that's a big topic. And
CTE injuries, man. Football is no joke, man. Like to have the career he's had already, like he's made his money.
He came in.
I mean, he literally played 10 games.
Yeah, but I mean the wear and tear on the body.
You know he don't practice.
He came in injured.
Hey, man.
Like that was his thing. Gronk came into the league with a bad back. What is that?
How long has he been in the league?
9 years.
9 years.
He don't practice. You know he don't practice. You know he don't practice.
Well, he really not gonna practice now.
What do you?
That's a smart move, man.
I hate it.
Smart move. I mean, as a Patriots fan, I would hate it.
Man,
But then as a Patriots fan, y'all have won without him.
Absolutely.
So my thing is, I don't see that really stopping them from winning another one.
It probably doesn't.
But like, because of Tom Brady.
But at the same token, he makes the game a lot easier.
Yeah,
I mean,
they have to replace. They have to
bro,
replace him. We don't know who they're gonna replace him with.
I mean, but when you're playing with Tom Brady, man, you can replace him with just like.
I hear
say that.
They won Super Bowls without him.
I mean, I'm not saying
how hard it is to game. Like, just imagine how hard it is to game plan with Rob Gronkowski on the field, even if he's only 60%.
He's a human mismatch too.
Yeah.
Like, there's not many of those lurking around the NFL, especially not the tight end position.
Especially not the tight end position.
Especially not.
And he wasn't a one-dimensional tight end.
Right.
Like, you can put him in on run downs. He can block. You can put him in on pass downs. Of course, he can catch. He can go be a fullback. He could play. He could, like Chris Carter, it was either Chris Carter or Shannon Sharp said it on TV. They was like, the man was probably New England's best tackle, best fullback, and their best receiver. Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, the man could block. He could run routes good. And his catch radius was out this world.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy to replace him.
Not at all.
I mean, it's never going to be easy.
I don't care what you say. Like, they have won Super Bowls without him, but that was like almost 10 years ago.
No, they won Atlanta without him.
They won Atlanta without him.
Oh yeah, he didn't play in the game. Yeah, he was out. When did he get hurt?
The week before.
The week before. I mean, he still helped them get there. I mean, let's not act like he wasn't like this the whole season. Like he just got there. I mean, they won a game without him, but I mean, you need a player like that in big games. Like,
absolutely.
You do, but I would still pick the Patriots as the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
I mean,
Hey, Gronk is the reason they beat Kansas City. The Patriots beat Kansas City. Period.
Yeah, they finally they utilize him.
Yeah, absolutely.
The week before.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have that decoy, right? Like all game, they can't run the ball, put Gronk on the field, run the ball, and show you something different. And then in the moment where they need him the most, say, "Oh, let's go to our bread and butter." You can't just do that with anybody.
True, but I mean, don't get me wrong, Gronk is like one of a kind, but Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, like they've got what? Brady's got 6 rings, right?
6.
3 with Gronk, right?
No,
I mean 2 with Gronk, right? So 4 without.
Yeah.
My money's on Tom.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
My money's on Tom.
No, hold on. What y'all say? He got what?
He got 2 rings.
He got 2 rings with Gronk.
4 without him.
Gronk 3 times.
No, it's 3.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. But he didn't play in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
He didn't play in the Atlanta Super Bowl.
So he
still deserves it.
So you can still say 3, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
So I've seen Brady win before he's had Gronk. Yeah, I've seen him win with Gronk, and you know what we're gonna see?
He gonna win without.
We're gonna see him win again without Gronk.
Yeah.
It's just the system, man. It's system coach. Like Gronk's a Hall of Famer,
definitely,
hands down, first ballot. But I mean,
so they went from 4-1 favorites to 6-1 favorites to win it. So that's just a little about Vegas. That's just a little what Vegas say.
That's what Vegas say.
Vegas say so. You know the odds slim just a little.
Just a little.
They slimmed a little bit. They slimmed a little bit. So
I had to explain that to me off there.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm still sad.
Does he think it's a chance he comes back?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If Tom called him on the phone and say, "Hey, big guy, I need you."
So they start off 4-4 or something, or 5-4.
Hey, yo, Gronk.
Yeah, you might have to holler at him.
Hey, yo, man, I'm in Leo's, man. I gotta call you back, Tom. Tom.
Yeah, that's the thing with him though. Like
he about to party.
Like, what does he do? Like, you know, like
about to party.
Yeah. So does he keep himself in shape? Is he still gonna be that type of player to still work out and still, like, you know, do the things that he did like he was playing? Because some players don't do that. Yeah. Some players retire and it be it. You know, he's sitting back, his feet up. He in his pool, he in his pool, yeah. You know, every day. He kick back, he drinking, You know,
a lot of them don't retire that early though. They're much older.
Yeah, I mean, but some people don't like to get out of their regimen.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
He might still work out.
We'll see.
He might still work.
I mean, I'm not saying he won't. I don't know how you.
So like speaking on early retirements, like would you consider like Barry Sanders a bad retirement?
I don't think Barry Sanders had a choice. He like when you say Gronk retired because of his body, like I think Barry retired because of his body. Like he was just tired of getting hit and the way he was getting hit. Like the Detroit Lions.
Well, the Detroit Lions do that to you because they ain't the only person they did that to.
They did to Calvin Johnson.
Megatron.
Yeah, he retired.
He was one of the top wide receivers
Still
in football and retired.
So basically, don't go to Detroit.
Hell no.
Don't go to Detroit.
Get your ass out of there.
What? I just want to know.
Don't sign an extension.
Don't sign an extension.
Don't
go there.
Stafford retiring next year.
Getting beat up like a crash dummy. So, hey, Will, you got the go talk.
I do. Let's check him out. All right, so this Go Talk is brought to you by one of my coworkers, Justin. Justo. He's a loyal listener.
Justo, my boy.
He gave me this one, so I'll give it to y'all like this. Player A, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's a Super Bowl champ. He's a AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is a Comeback Player of the Year. He had 13,662 yards rushing. He had 91 touchdowns. He had 200 receptions with 1,499 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns that way.
Okay, he's Super Bowl champion?
Yeah, he was a Super Bowl champion, 1-time Super Bowl champion, and he fumbled the ball 41 times.
Jeez.
Player B is a 5-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro. He was also Rookie of the Year. He's also in the Hall of Fame. He had 14,101 yards rushing, 90 touchdowns. He had 484 receptions, 3,329 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns, and he had 29 fumbles.
They play A again?
Player A?
Yeah.
Player A, again, is Hall of Famer, 6-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champ, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year. He had 13,662 yards, 91 touchdowns. He had 200 receptions, 1,449 yards, 3 touchdowns that way, and he had 41 fumbles.
Want to come back Player of the Year?
Yes,
Not
he did.
doing business, no.
Is that a current player?
Player A is Jerome Bettis.
Okay.
The bus.
Player 2?
Read player 2 again.
Player B.
One-time Super Bowl champions. Gotta think about winning that.
He is a 5-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame, Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's 1-time All-Pro, 14,101 yards. He had 90 touchdowns. He had 484 receptions, 3,329 yards, 10 touchdowns receiving, and only 29 fumbles.
Marshall Falk?
Nope.
I think I know who it is.
Not Eddie George. He ain't one of them.
Nope.
Oh, I know who this is. That's Curtis Martin.
Yes, sir.
The Bus or Curtis Martin?
The Bus played 10 years. Curtis Martin played 8 years.
Man, Curtis Martin only played 8 years?
8 years. No, wait, I take that back.
Were they out with the Jets?
No.
No.
He played 3 with New England,
Right.
8 with the Jets. So he played 11 years.
11
I take
years.
that back. The Bus played
That's
13 years.
Dude, Kevin Hart. Damn. This might be a little tough.
Yeah. Very tough.
So he got 10 1,000 rushing yard seasons.
Yes, sir.
Out of 11.
Out of 11. And would have had another one, but he only played 12 games this last year.
Yeah. At 32. I would go with the bus. Ooh. Just
That's
cause.
tough. That's tough.
Ooh. Man, better.
At 30.
I didn't know Bettis was putting it on the ground like that though.
Y'all fumble?
Man, it was a fumble butt.
Hold on to the damn ball.
Hey, Curtis Martin has 1,697 yards at the age of 31.
Bus had 9. Yeah, 9.
Like Curtis Martin and white and green. That's Wayne. That's good Wayne. Oh man.
When did he win that comeback player of the year in 2004?
Who, Jerome Bettis?
Yeah.
96.
Dude. Curtis Martin numbers.
Oh yeah, he did have a down year. Yeah. Had a down year the year before that, and then came back and rushed for 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
11 touchdowns.
Yeah, 7 fumbles that year, too.
Man, why does man keep? Damn.
I think I'm gonna wait for you, Ray, on this one. I think I know who to pick, but I don't know.
After looking at these numbers,
These numbers, what do they do?
these numbers look good. these numbers look real good. These numbers look good. These Curtis Martin joints, like, dude.
They're ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Dude. And he did it in less games?
Mm-hmm.
More? Yeah, I'm going Curtis Martin. The bus just stands out. You don't want to go against the bus.
Cause he get to that goal line,
He was getting it in.
Yeah, it was.
look, and if it's you and him, it's you, him, and the goal line, you gonna lose.
You lost.
You gonna lose.
And you was going to feel it, too.
Man, what?
You was going to feel it.
Gotta be the best goal line running back.
Gotta be.
Gotta be ever.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
I kick it off. I'm going with Curtis Martin.
Yeah.
10 seasons of 1,000+ yards.
Straight two.
Straight.
Consecutive.
Straight.
One after the other.
1,600. Look, one at consecutive. Okay, one after the other. He had 1,600 yards rushing at the age of 31. You know how hard that is to do.
Yeah, I'm going Curtis Martin.
And he would have gave us another one if he'd have played 16 games this last year. So he would have rushed for 1,000 yards all 11 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Curtis Martin. And he had 90 touchdowns rushing.
Yeah. Less games too. It's crazy.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna pick Curtis Martin. Oh man, hey man, look, 10 consecutive 1,000
I know that.
seasons, like that is ridiculous.
I know that.
And another reason I'm gonna take him, his receiving out the backfield.
Yeah.
Way better catch out of the backfield. Like it's not even close. Like Bettis had some season he even get 100 yards out the backfield. So I mean, Martin never had a season where he didn't catch 100 yards out the backfield, and he was a better rusher too.
Yeah.
Like he's a clever man. Look, I did not know he had 10,000. I knew he was high on the all-time rushing list. I did know that.
They're 5th and 6th.
Yep, I did know that. I did know Curtis Martin was real high on the rushing list, but I didn't know that he had 10 consecutive 1,000 yards receiving. I want to know. I want to know who else has done this. I want to know who else has 10 consecutive 1,000 yard rushing seasons.
I'm gonna look that up for next week.
Who'd your boy pick? Who
Can't
just
be
no
much.
pick?
Adrian?
Let me.
Can't be.
Let me
Yes,
look.
he is, isn't he? Adrian.
10 straight?
Adrian who?
The only one.
Peterson?
Only one. It's only one Adrian.
I don't know about that.
Nah, it's not. You ever
It's
seen
only one
Rocky?
matters.
Actually not. It's actually not more than one. Oh no, he hasn't done it. No, he had 5. His longest is 4.
Still bad though.
The man had 10. Come on, man.
That's hard to do, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Adrian Peterson don't even have 10.
You take Curtis Martin over Adrian Peterson?
What? Say that again.
Would you take Curtis Moore over Adrian Peterson?
Absolutely.
Oh, looking at
Absolutely.
this.
Yes. Yes.
And he better out the backfield too.
Walter Payton almost did it.
Damn, we almost got another GOAT talk right here.
Walter Payton almost did it.
Now we're doing Curtis Martin versus the GOATs.
So he said.
He almost
said
did
he's
it.
gonna take Curtis. He said I like the bus, but Martin was silent and deadly.
You say who almost did it?
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton?
He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he didn't get it when he was hurt. Only played 9 games. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 years after that. So if he didn't get hurt that year, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it'd have been 11
understand what y'all
straight.
saying.
Barry did it.
Well,
Barry
think
did
about
it.
Barry did
the
it.
great
Yeah,
quarterback of all times.
Barry did it. 10 out of 10.
10 for
Oh
10.
yeah. Barry, look, I pulled up Barry too. Absolutely. Barry did. Look, 10 years, 1,000 yards.
Hey, he 100% out there.
Hey, and look, he left.
And then he left.
Then he left.
Bye,
He
baby, bye.
He rushed for 1,400 yards
And left.
Said deuces.
I'm taking my ball and I'm
Look,
going home.
after rushing for 2,053 yards.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Oh, Emmitt Smith did it.
And you told me this is smart for Barry Sanders?
What?
You said this was smart for Barry Sanders?
No, I was asking. Was it to leave?
You said it was smart?
Yeah, it was smart.
Man.
Hey, Emmitt did it for 11 straight years.
Emmett had 11 straight 1,000 yards.
That's why he all-time lead rusher.
91 to 2001.
Oh,
And he was
wow.
25 yards away from getting 1,000 in 2002.
For 12 straight? Yeah. That's why.
And his first year, he ran for 937.
He's got, you know what Emmitt Smith's career kind of remind me of? Minus the rings, because Emmitt got a couple. Karl Malone.
Oh yeah.
I think, yeah, very consistent. I think people underappreciate what they did for the game, but the difference is Emmitt got the ring. He got the jewelry. He
Part
got
of
that
that
jewelry.
dynasty.
Yeah, he got that jewelry. So, but yeah, I think people kind of like, because to me, Emmitt Smith's name don't get mentioned with the GOAT running backs nearly.
That's because a lot of people like to just throw it off on, he had the best blocking. Not necessarily the fanciest runner. I hear that a lot when it comes to Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
I don't care if you had somebody still got to run it. You still listen. You think Trent Richardson could have ran in them holes that Emmett had?
Don't mention that, man. Please don't mention that, man.
You wild disrespectful.
Man.
You wild disrespectful.
Oh, come on, man.
You wild
It's
disrespectful.
March, man. We're not talking about
What's
that
in
right
that?
now.
What's in that bottle you had,
It's
man?
got water.
I bet it do.
Go see some vodka up in there.
My God. Yeah, man.
Yeah, give me Curtis.
All right, but back to the talk of the GOAT. To go talk. Yeah, go Curtis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Curtis.
That's a good one.
Booth over there got the bus.
Who you got?
Take the bus.
You taking the bus? You playing devil's advocate over there, huh?
He on the bus. He on the bus shop. Sure.
Short.
I mean,
Yeah, the
y'all-
short one. The short one. Short.
So the heavy short bus, man.
Come on,
Sure.
man.
Sure.
I like that go talk. That was dope.
No, that was a good one. No, I like that.
That was dope. We had one of the listeners do it. We gonna keep doing that too, y'all.
Yeah,
So
man. We gonna
stay
keep everybody in
tuned.
tune.
Let us know who y'all want to hear about. If we haven't talked about them already, I know I had a couple of people on Twitter ask us to do like, somebody said do Steve Nash.
Yeah, that was Mo. That was my homie Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mo said do Steve Nash, J Kidd.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give it up. I mean, we already did that, though. Right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fine.
we did.
Yeah,
We
that
did
was
that.
fine.
We
So,
did that.
People gotta I guess they gotta listen in. You know, they gotta listen
Yeah,
to
he
some
said
old.
Mo usually listen.
They
Yeah.
listen in to some old episodes. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta start throwing it back out there.
Check us out. Apple Podcasts.
Please.
YouTube.
We everywhere.
SoundCloud. Coming to a front door near you.
Front door.
Front door.
Huh?
We just gonna start knocking on people's doors and setting up the podcast.
I'm with it.
Y'all with it?
We stalkers, man.
Nah, we just gonna come, like, you know.
I mean, I'm gonna knock down some doors if
See?
I'm gonna come.
All right, that's what we're doing then. Coming to a city near you. NBA. Yusuf Nurkic went crazy.
How did you say his first name?
Yusuf.
Oh, that's good.
You practice that?
He did. Because I never knew how to say his first name. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't even know how to say his last name. I just call him Nurk.
You right.
Steph Nurkic.
I just call him.
What if I say you watching no league pass?
No league pass.
I call that man Nurkic. Hey,
I know
buddy importance.
I knew his last name was Nurkic. I
You know
what to call it. I mean, Yusuf. I mean, I've heard it before, but I never called him that.
Yeah.
Nurkic is what I call.
He was going crazy yesterday. Like, he's having a career year.
He is.
And he has a gruesome injury.
Man.
Goes down.
Ugly.
Crazy legs, man.
Out for the rest of the year. Portland is already without McCollum. Is McCollum coming back?
He's coming back. He'll be back next week.
They got Canner.
Call the man crazy.
Alright. Why you call him crazy legs though? He couldn't help that.
Sorry.
Jesus.
I feel sorry for him. I'm a Nurkic fan, so don't act like I'm not a Nurkic fan.
Hope you had him in your lineups last night for all my fantasy players. You had about 72 fantasy points.
Damn. Yeah. What?
72 fantasy.
Sheesh.
I mean, McGee had 75 the night before.
Yeah, he did.
Who JaVale?
Yeah.
JaVale. 30 and 22.
Yeah, 30 and 22.
As much.
Career year, fan.
Did you watch the game?
No, I'm not watching no more.
Them Wilt numbers.
I'm done
We
watching.
can compare JaVale to Wilt now.
Man,
Well, I'm on
slap the hell.
So, like with Nurkic, right? He goes down. He's out the rest of the season. I'm gonna say this. It's a huge blow, but look, Canner can give you 18 and 9.
He can.
Like if you play him the minutes. Defensively, he's not Nurkic, right? He's a liability on defense, but I mean, who isn't in today's NBA, right? So
you're wild disrespectful.
he can give you 18 and 9. So I don't necessarily think that they're going to be like, I don't want to write them off just yet in the first round. Of course, it depends on who they play. But I want to see Canner. I think Canner can step into that role and do solid.
Ray, sharpen your pencils. Get ready to write. The day off. The day off. They done. They done.
Who would they have to play?
They would have to play
done.
in Utah. If the playoffs started today, they'd have to
Go
play.
Bear? Come on, man.
Oh, that's his former
Come
team,
on, man.
too.
They got to go against Rudy. They're going to have to either go against. Their best bet is to get the Clippers in the first round.
So they would have to get the 3 seed.
They would have to get the 3 seed.
Or the Clippers would have to get the 5 seed.
Or something like that.
Okay.
That's their best bet.
So the Clippers are tied right now.
They don't match up. They don't match up well with OKC. They no longer match up well with the Spurs.
Well, they won't get OKC.
Yeah, I don't think
Because OKC is...
They're falling off the face of the mountain.
Yeah, free fall.
Yeah.
Free fall.
4-6 in their last 10. But the Spurs lost today, so OKC moved back
Into 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So they still can't get them. I mean, they would still have to keep moving up. But yeah, their best bet is to get the Clippers in the first round. That's just, they don't match up well with OKC. They don't match up well with Utah. They don't match up well with the Spurs. They got Aldridge, and there's no way that Canner can even start to check.
It was better off in
Are you
that
watching?
So-
are you watching the Lakers game right now?
LeBron here ball the free throw.
Get this.
Oh, that's a good clip. Yeah, 57. Yeah, that's a good clip right there. That's a great clip.
I'm going to dive into some LeBron talk right
Oh,
after
I
this.
wish I get that one.
I'm actually glad you showed me that.
I'm so sick.
For those that's watching, practice your free throws even if you ain't a hooper.
Hey, fact.
Okay? Anybody can make a free throw.
This can't be life right now. Are we the laughing stock in the NBA right now? Cut the Nurkic talk. Let's switch gears a little bit. Are we the laughing stock in the NBA?
Gather my thoughts.
How can we be the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James on our team and be the laughing stock in the NBA? We had a laughing stock in the NBA. They had. I don't know if y'all saw it. They had a video.
I saw it.
It was pretty funny though. I ain't gonna lie.
I
They
saw
said the Lakers had high hopes and high expectations, and they had everybody predictions how they gonna go win like 55 games, 60 games. They were going to the Western Conference Finals, and
They up 8 right now.
and then after every person would say something, they would show like a bad play for the Lakers. And one was like Lance and McGee fighting for a rebound and the ball went out of bounds. And they had to stab people. Oh man, I was crying.
Hey, I need somebody that y'all know the Price is Right when they play the Cliff game.
Oh yeah, they went up.
Yo.
Hey man, shout out to my grandma, man. She used to watch Price Right every single day, man. Every single day. That's what we doing, man. Yoda man finna fall off the cliff. You know what happened when you go a little over?
Yo.
You go a little over. He go right on over the cliff. That's what we did. We had high hopes.
High hopes.
High hopes. We all three of us sat here and said there was gonna be a 3 seed.
We did.
People should list us another day in their damn life.
I will say this, man. I will say this. As bad as this shit has gotten, the man was hurt for 18 games.
Oh shit.
I will say that.
Hey, I can't breathe.
The man was hurt for 18 games. And after he got hurt, Lonzo got hurt, Ingram missed games. They would be in the playoffs if he didn't get hurt.
Hey, right.
But the reality is, I watched Stephen A. Smith the last couple of days, and he said one thing that I 120% agree with. You don't get to be LeBron James and his crew and get to boast on his past accomplishments, and you got 3 years left on your deal. Every superstar player that has come to play with the Lakers, except for Elgin Baylor, has won a championship. If LeBron does not win a ring in LA, he'll be the greatest player to not win a ring in LA.
Hey, I hear all that, but my man's airball the free throw.
It was bound to come. He sucks from the free throw line. I don't want to hear anybody talk about. I don't even like.
To the left, to the right of the short.
Hey.
He's rested enough games.
It was down the middle.
I think he's just tired. He's just tired then. That's not a bad thing. He's just tired.
I've seen him throw the ball under the backboard
He's tired.
on an inbound pass.
So when the accuracy problem.
I've seen it.
That was one of the plays in the video too. When the ball.
I've seen him get pushed into a defender.
I'm not watching it.
I've seen him get pushed into a defender.
He let the ball roll out of bounds the one time. All
I've
the
seen him
out of bounds.
do some of the dumbest shit you could do as an NBA basketball player this year. He doesn't get an excuse from it. And now the man is sitting here airballing free throws.
I'm sure he's a little tired.
I will say this, man. We are critical of LeBron, but this time
You brought this on yourself. Ain't that what Martin said?
he brought this one on.
Dog.
I mean, you don't make a jump like that and then go out there.
You know how much balance you got to not have to airball a free throw?
Steven Jackson was talking about it. So Steven Jackson said, I don't even see him competing. Like, he's not even competing. Like, everybody wants to, all the LeBron fans, all the people that want to, just not criticize him for this year. He's averaging 28, 8, and 8.
The most uninspired 28, 8.
I mean, are you watching the games? I mean, if you were watching the game, if you really were watching the games, like, and you come out and say that LeBron James is out here playing inspired, competitive basketball and I get it, it's not going to be every game, but for 90% of the year, which you should be playing, 85% of the year, you're lying. You're lying. I've seen him not make the right rotation too many times. And not to say that other guys haven't done this. I was very critical for Kobe later in his career because I would continuously see him not make the right rotations on defense. Absolutely. And I was very critical of him too. So I'm going to be very critical of LeBron. But he's been doing this Lakers too. Like, he was doing this last 2 years probably in Cleveland too. Definitely the last year. Like, not making that right rotation. A lot of finger pointing on defense, but not, 5 guys have to move on defense.
You know what?
We didn't have that. Look, oh my God, man, turn that.
Look, man, LeBron is my 3rd favorite basketball player of all time.
Turn this shit off.
But he the most frustrating dude to watch. Dude, the defense started in Cleveland, man. The lack of defense. It was the decline started in the NBA Finals when he let Kevin Durant walk up and shoot a jump shot, and he didn't pick him up until
started way before that. They were 24th in the league in defense that year. He continues watching this man airball free throw.
Was in the fourth quarter. Was retired.
How you airball a free throw, man?
It's the second quarter, Danny.
Oh, second quarter.
Fresh legs.
It's the second quarter. Ain't a half yet.
How many minutes he played already? Played big minutes.
He on a minute restriction. He on a 32-minute minute restriction.
I don't know.
Come on, man. Hey, man. Listen, man.
See what his left was right.
I like the moves. I like the moves the Lakers have made. They got LeBron James.
He probably gonna get another triple double tonight too.
It's always gonna happen. We're gonna win another meaningless game that we probably should lose. So we should tank. Cause we should be tanking right now. And then he's not gonna play tomorrow because we play Utah tomorrow in Utah, and we're gonna get spanked by 50. Probably on national TV again. Probably on ESPN.
Yo.
It's just man, listen.
They could at least sign Andre Ingram to another 10-day.
What?
The way the season is going now.
They signed another dude. They signed another dude.
He would airball the free throw.
They signed another dude. I hadn't heard him before, but they signed another dude to a 10-day contract. He was another long-term G League guy. So we basically the charity of foundation of the NBA. If you want to play in the NBA, just come play for the G League.
Talking about Bonga?
No.
Machado?
Yeah, I think it was Machado.
They got Manny Machado out there playing basketball.
Yeah, I think it was Machado. Yeah. So if you want to play, if you're a long-time G Leaguer and you want to play in the NBA, just come on and play for the G League Lakers.
The South Bay Lakers.
Yeah, South Bay Lakers, and man, we got you with a spot at the end of the year.
Yo.
Go ahead, man. Continue.
The show's over.
We still got one. Yeah, we got one more topic to talk about.
Show's over.
Rookie of the year.
Show's over.
We got one more topic to talk about.
Show.
Go get the Rookie of the Year, man.
Can we go into a host?
I can't believe this fool out here.
Yo.
Can we go into the next topic, please?
Hey, I'm gonna see y'all that clip.
Where you get this nice watch from, man? Where you get that from, man?
Rookie of the year.
That's that fake doing money, ain't it?
Ooh.
Hey, man.
Little Rose Gold with those diamonds over there.
Rookie of the year debate between Luka and Trae Young has started to heat up in the social media atmosphere post All-Star break.
Dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Say it louder. Say it loud.
About the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Dumbest.
You got players like Blake Griffin, Kyle Kuzma, of course Donovan Mitchell.
Of course,
Underdog.
You know,
I mean, what they mad about Luka now? He's a rookie.
It's not mad. No, they're not mad about Luka, but it's just Trae Young's been on a tear, right? I get it, right? He's been on a tear, but like, come on, man. It's not like Luka had this like ultimate fall off. You know what I'm saying?
Can you help me understand? Cause
Prisoners of the moment, and they probably boys with him. That's all I can think of. I know Trae Young absolutely torched Blake in when they came to Atlanta. He killed them. So it's probably recency bias.
What he gave him like 40.
Man, he had that one play where he faked behind through the legs, through the no look to Deadman. Like he torched them. But of course,
the game ball versus Philly is what raised all of this.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
And then of course Donovan Mitchell, like
He's still better.
He's definitely better. Like, dude, he's basically rooting for him because that's what he did last year. Simmons had did it all year, and then Mitchell came on a little later, and then went on a tear, and then was like, oh, I should be rookie of the year. Same thing this year. Like, no, you shouldn't. Luka has been doing it pre-All-Star break. Trae Young's averaging 16 points, like 6 assists.
Yeah.
Like, Luka was averaging like 20, like 8 assists, 7 boards, somewhere around there. Post All-Star break, Luka's averaging 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and like 21 points. So it's really not a huge fall off.
22, 9, and 7 for Luka post All-Star.
Yeah.
Trae is averaging 25, 9, and 5.
Right, and if you look at Luka before All-Star, like it's not a huge fall off. Like his rebounds actually went up.
His points went up too. Everything's gone up.
You know?
Everything's gone up.
For Luka?
Yeah.
Everything's gone up.
Everything's gone up.
Except for his field goal percentage, but it's not a big drop off.
Did his assist drop?
No, his assists went up.
Assists went up?
Assists went up.
Like,
They also got rid of. So, all right. So both teams got rid of a lot of pivotal guys.
Yeah.
Like, so their numbers were going to inflate. Like Trae Young's playing a lot of minutes because they don't have a backup point guard. They got rid of Lynn, so he's playing 34, 35 minutes. The Mavs got rid of Harrison Barnes, who was taking, who was getting rid of some of
JJ Barea.
They got Resting Matthews.
JJ Barea hurt.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Like they got rid of JJ Barea's hurt, so like some of the guys who were taking up some of their usage, they getting that usage back, so their numbers are going to inflate a little bit. I mean, it's just when you play the minutes and you have the usage, like your numbers going to go up. I mean, it is what it is. Whether you losing games or when are you winning games, like that's what's going to happen.
I don't think
I like the PC answer. I like the PC answer.
Yeah, I mean that's why Trae Young numbers are going up though.
Can you give it to me real?
Luka.
Who's the rookie of the year?
Luka. Like, I mean, he's doing it all year. I mean, and not to say like if this was the case though, like with Trae Young, like if he was getting the minutes early on in the year, I think he could have put up better numbers, but it didn't happen.
He wasn't even playing 30 minutes. He was like 27, 28 minutes.
28 minutes. Like, I mean, the coach was bringing him along real slowly. I mean, but that's cool. But Luka from day one out the gate was the man. He was the best player on their team. Like, he was the best player on their team from day one.
Got rid of DSJ.
They did?
Yeah, I mean, and that's another guy they got rid of. They got rid of DSJ. Like, we ain't even talk about him. So, I mean, but Luka still was the best player on their team. Yeah. Even when they had all of those guys. Like, he was still getting the job done, still putting up great numbers. And without them, of course, he's going to put up better numbers. But, yeah, he's been I won't say way more impressive. I listened to a podcast earlier, and they said, don't act like it's like a huge gap. Don't act like it's like Luka up here and Trae's down here. Like, it's like right here. Like, but it's a little gap, though.
It's like right there.
He closed the gap. I said Trae closed the gap.
It's like, I wouldn't say that. Because, I mean, if Luka has been consistent since day one, and his numbers, of course, like you said, his numbers are going to go up because he's playing more. Trae's numbers are going to go up because he's playing more. So, to me, it's more so the consistency. And who's to say if Luka didn't start the season with Harrison Barnes, DSJ, Wesley Matthews, DeAndre Jordan. Who's to say his numbers wouldn't have been that much better from the beginning of the year? Right? So, I mean, it's a product of getting more minutes, but like Dougie said, let's not be prisoners of the moment.
Hey.
Like, Trae looks good now.
Everybody's got short-term memory, though.
Yeah.
They were like that last year with Donovan Mitchell. Like, same thing. Like, Simmons was the man since day one.
Yeah.
And then Donovan Mitchell had a month and a half, 2-month tear where he got them into the playoffs and got them into the playoff race. And then everybody wanted to just jump ship and just say that Donovan Mitchell deserves to be the rookie of the year.
So let me ask this question. Do you think they need to change the way rookie of the year is decided? Because think about it. Blake Griffin won rookie of the year. He didn't play his entire first year. He was, his second year in the league. Same with Simmons. Mm-hmm. I don't know who Blake beat out for rookie of the year. I don't know what rookies were really there the year after. But do you think, like, if you have come in the league, if you have not played at all your first year, your true first year, should you still be considered a rookie?
I will say so. I mean, if you're in college and you don't play your freshman year, like you redshirt and you're still a redshirt freshman. I mean, it should be the same. It's the same thing in the NBA.
But think about it. If you redshirt in college, you're a redshirt freshman, which is truly a sophomore. I don't even know. Can a redshirt? So now the question becomes: can a redshirt freshman win Freshman of the Year?
Absolutely,
they can.
Absolutely,
okay,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm on the fence on that because in the NBA, like, you get so much experience just by being around the game and being around the team that year. You learn so much.
You learn how to travel. You learn, like, if you travel with the team,
but
learn
it's
to travel.
Nothing like that game experience.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to still go with, they should be considered a rookie because they haven't played in an NBA game. So I'm gonna say yeah. But that's really, I'm glad you brought that up. That's really the problem people had with Simmons last year.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't the fact that he's been there already. Like he's not even really a rookie. But the rule says he's a rookie.
Yeah.
So he's gonna win rookie of the year.
And that's why I say I think it's different this year versus last year. Like last year, I think more people were like, well, Donovan Mitchell this is truly his rookie year. Whereas like Simmons, like you said, had already been in the league, traveled with the team. You know, he's working out with the team, so on and so forth. And I don't know.
I will say, just cut it out though. Luka is the rookie.
Oh, Luka rookie is
gonna win it.
Let's cut it out.
He's gonna win it.
So just kind of piggyback off the
Blake Griffin.
He beat out John Wall, Cousins, Gordon Hayward, and that probably was it.
This is solid. I mean, that's...
He beat out some. Yeah, John Wall had a good rookie year.
Yeah.
So, really good rookie year actually. So I mean, I think he deserved it.
You think Blake deserved it?
Blake was good.
Yeah, Blake was. Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, that might have been like one of his best
He was
seasons.
rebounding in.
Yeah, had double-digit rebounds.
People hadn't figured him out yet. They didn't know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Wall averaged like 16 and 8 that year. 16, 8, and 5.
Yeah.
Which is really good for a rookie point guard. But yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I'm sure you get to travel with the team. You get to see how people work out, but
You get to practice.
also, like, let's not forget, like, they were hurt. Like, Blake Griffin was hurt. Like, it wasn't like he was like healthy and like didn't play a game. Same thing with Simmons. Like, Simmons had a broke foot. He didn't start playing basketball, I think, till like January, like February maybe. And then in March they were just like, all right, we're not gonna play him at all. You know, so he got the last couple month and a half to kind of maybe practice with the team. But same thing with Blake. Like, Blake broke his what?
Towards ACL.
Towards ACL. I mean, come on. He didn't get a practice in.
Yeah.
Because he did that in what, preseason?
Yeah.
Yeah. He tore his ACL in preseason. So it's like they didn't get any practice in. You know, like of course they got to learn from the vets and they got the best trainers in the world too as well. So that kind of like does something. You know, you get the proper treatment. You don't have to go to class to get treated, you know, things like that. So you're able to kind of really rehab your body. But I mean, like I said, it's not like they're out there like practicing for the team for all year long, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it though.
Luka.
Trey been hooping though, man. I'm gonna go back to Trey, man. Trey been hooping, man.
He been hooping balling.
I think after Summer League, I think people thought Trey was gonna be like they thought Trey was gonna be bad. They didn't think he was gonna be good. Like he struggled in Summer League. If you follow NBA Summer League, he struggled. Like he struggled. And I said when he gets into the NBA game, it'll open up a little bit. It's a way more spreader floor, and his skill set is showing. The same skill set he had in the first 15 games of Oklahoma, because they struggled the last second. They struggled the last like 12 games just because teams just start double teaming them. But his skill set is showing, man. He can pass with either hand. He can shoot it from deep. He can finish at the rim. He's got a floater. He's got to get a little stronger though. He's got to get a little stronger. He can't defend his position at all. Like at all. Like they can't stop a nosebleed. Like at point guard.
Who needs defense?
Yes. Obviously him.
When you're airballing free throws. Jesus.
Can you wrap this up, man? Go do the shout outs, man, please. Please. Can you do the shout outs? Please. Don't talk to me about LeBron James or the Lakers anymore.
Shout out to the breeze that was blowing 80% of the night. Wind moving at 5 miles an hour northeast.
Oh man.
That breeze come from the Forum. I mean, damn, how you missed that? How you airball a free throw?
Hey, what you think about the Lakers was talking about potentially moving back to the Forum?
It's there.
Don't talk to me about that either.
Lord.
Staples Center is ours.
So it's the Forum.
Yeah, I mean the Forum is y'all's too.
Bus would roll over his grave if we move out of
Shit,
this.
he rolling over after that free throw.
Man.
Definitely roll over.
He probably rolling over after them signings this summer.
Probably.
Bus would have signed Boogie.
We move out of the Staples though. Like, oh yeah, absolutely. He was a big man. He loved it. He loved a big man.
He would have signed Boogie.
Yeah, he loved big man. Come on, man.
He would have signed Melo too.
Absolutely. He loved big man. He was a star guy. So I mean, absolutely.
He would have signed Melo.
That was back in the good days though. Ain't that right, Danny?
Man, I love it.
That was back in the good days. We'll see if we can get back there though. Anything you got to say?
I just hope LeBron knows, like, making the playoffs just ain't good enough. Stephen A. Smith couldn't have been preaching the gospel. No, like, the man, he's like, man, don't just talk about Laker Nation. We'll get to the playoffs. Dude, they didn't sign you to be a 6 seed, 7 seed, and get to the second round, losing the first round.
That's true.
They won the championship. I'm off this. Follow us. There we go. Follow us. Social media. YouTube, Goodfellas Podcast. Spelled with a 3 instead of an E. Twitter page, Goodfellas87. There was a like on Facebook. Instagram, Goodfellas Podcast. Am I missing anything, fellas?
No. I mean, oh, shout out to Bowen staff. We beat the students.
I mean, what you dropped, bro? Don't tell me and keep track of your numbers, bro.
Hey, nigga, I couldn't score a basket. You hear me?
But did you hit the rim on all your shots?
Oh, yeah, I hit the rim on every shot.
Seems to be.
Couldn't score a basket.
Shout out to the faculty.
We beat the
What was the final score?
we won by like 15.
Y'all was out there running a full court press.
Hell no. We only had 6 players.
I was saying, now they old asses.
We had 6 players.
When you old, you don't press. The young kids probably trying to press.
Nah, the young kids, I'm going to tell y'all why they lost. They gone.
Yeah.
They don't pass the ball at all. They didn't pass the ball to each other at all.
What are y'all teaching over there?
Man, listen. It ain't even what you're teaching. The crazy thing about it,
Get you.
the crazy thing about it, the coach, the boys' coach, he actually came and hooped, and he told one of his players, like, I'm gonna score 30 today. I'm gonna score 30 on y'all, and he legit went for 30. And he was like just toying with his players, and he like after the game, we told one of the guys, his name is Juwan. Told him like, dude, there's no way you in a student versus staff game. Staff is 6 staff members, and you don't touch the ball. Like, dude, I'm touching the ball every time down the court. Like, there's no way I'm letting these. What? Oh man, we won. That's 2 in a row for us.
Well, 5, what you got?
Man, I don't have no shout outs this week, man. It was, I'm chilling, man. What you got, man?
I got a shout out. Sister got married this weekend. Yes. Shout out to Raven and Jumani, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, Roller Robinson. Everything was off the chain. It was in Orlando. Yeah, man, it was dope. And shout out to moms. My mama
Rose
got on the dance floor when Poison came on. She caught me off guard because I was in my little zone, hitting my little step.
better moves than you.
And she was like, came up to me and was like, keep going. I was like, oh, she was like, come on, keep going. I'm like,
you keep going?
yeah. And then she got out there and was, I'm like, what? In the house party 2 is going on. So yeah, it was dope. Shout out to moms. I know where I get my moves from because Pop's got 2 left legs.
Man,
so
be respectful.
I'm just saying, I know. I ain't never seen moms get out there and boogie like that.
Have some moves, man.
Nah, man.
You ain't got no moves.
Nah.
Pop said he got a 2-step.
Not no more.
R1 ain't got no moves.
R1.
Nah, man.
What they call you? What they call you?
Chill. G14 classified. Won't be revealed on this podcast. Yep, time to go. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say?
Nah, man, just continue to watch the tourney. Shout out to everybody that join our bracket challenge, man. We had a good turnout. Hope everybody keeping track of their brackets. We got a close race right now. So
I don't know how close it is.
well,
it's close.
Yeah. It's a couple. It's a couple people close.
It's close, brother.
Hey,
close.
Ray, how do you feel about never mind. We'll talk about that off air.
What's up?
We'll talk about it off air.
Okay.
And shout out to North Carolina, man. Well, we're Sweet 16 bound. Target, baby.
You can tell they don't win.
Oh yeah, we done won a whole lot.
Shout out to the person that had multiple entries and had Yale winning the national championship and had Northern Kentucky winning the national championship.
Hey,
God bless your bracket ministries.
Making my bracket look real good right now.
All right. And we one Duke loss away from probably canceling the show. I know A-Will ain't gonna show up next week. So I am definitely hoping that Virginia Tech, because didn't they beat them in the regular season?
Yeah. Without Zion.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Huh?
Pump your brakes.
What? They beat them what?
Without Zion.
Ask me if I care. That confidence is confidence.
Okay.
All right.
False confidence.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's false confidence.
Dude,
Shout out Jason Smollett, man. He beat his case, man.
Hey, Booth, that's enough.
He coming home.
That's enough.
He coming home, man.
That's enough.
Hey, we need a new camera.
He coming home. Home, Smollett.
Wait, almost on the same topic. Almost, as far as like courts and all that stuff. You see the stuff with Nike? Buddy was trying to extort Nike. The dude that's trying to prosecute R. Kelly right now got arrested for trying to extort $20 million
From Nike?
From Nike. Yeah, and I forget the guy's name. Andretti, whatever his name is.
Yeah, give me that one.
So how, like, I don't know how your credibility now, you trying to defend somebody, you get locked up and then get released.
You want to talk about extorting money? I mean, what about Triple B?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we can talk a little bit about that.
Woo! We gonna actually post that.
Yeah.
We gonna post that.
Yeah, we gonna talk about that.
We gonna post that. Get some of y'all thoughts on that.
Absolutely.
Booth.
You want to talk about Cardi B? What she used to do in her spare time?
Hey, so
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
Man, we all need equality around here, man. That's not equal.
Let's wrap this up.
yeah, man. So y'all ain't got nothing else. Anything?
Well, no, man. It's time to go.
All right, man. Until next time, until next week. Love, live life, and we will holler at y'all later. Peace.
This nigga.
This nigga.